Uh, Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's 12:14 a.m. and discussing this a little late about what's been happening. Um, quick, I went to MegaCon. I went to MegaCon in February, in the beginning of February, and I got my books, CGC'd and something done. So I'm just going to show you real quick, because there is a discussion I want to talk about because of my title that you see there. So here's this one. Peter Cullen's signature right there. And then I met Eric July, who does the Riververse. And here's these two. Here's this one right here. And then here's this one right there. And that's about it. Okay. So, I saw this afternoon, in the afternoon, watching the right wing media checking out Trump when he was in Eagle Pass, Texas, doing the looking at the border, how they're doing in Texas, and discussing about it, basically about his policy, what he did. So let's take a look real quick. I got it over here in position, so let me do this right here. Oops. All right, let me get it done and bring it back down. Whoa. That's weird. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, I was about to say. I don't know what happened there, but that was kind of weird. So I don't know what it was, but all right. So let's take a look.
Well, we'll go tie. Okay, that's great, Governor. Thank you very much, everybody. This is an honor to be with you. We've been spending a lot of time with the governor and everybody. And the job they've done is incredible. But sadly, we're saying it's a military operation. It's an amazing job, and
yeah, that kind of hit the volume a bit, so I was trying to lower it.
Governor hasn't done a thing, and the governor in California hasn't done a thing. People are flowing through there like nothing, but Texas is very secure and it's going to be even more secure by the time you finish, which will be soon. And I just want to thank some friends of mine. Brandon Judd has been a friend from day one. He knew what we were all about and knew what we were saying and doing, and I think we were ahead of our time. And General Thomas Sulzer was somebody that was always right there and understands this Texas military department about as well as you could have. I think he understands war, because that's what you're in. You're in a war. And William Mike Gorby, you know who he is, and he's been fantastic. It's just an incredible group that you've put together, fortunately. I might ask Brandon to say a couple of words, because right at the beginning we were into it. We saw what was happening, and the governor was there, and then he really stepped it up. It's been amazing. I came when I was lucky enough to receive his endorsement. I endorsed him also, and very proudly endorsed him. And a lot of things have happened in the last little while, but this is an incredible operation. Brandon, would you like to say a couple of words, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I want you to know, your agents, my agents, they're mad as hell. Absolutely mad that President Biden went to Brownsville, Texas, rather than going to Arizona, rather than going to San Diego, California, rather than coming to Eagle Pass, Texas, which has been the epicenter. What President Trump has seen right here is he's seen how his policies have worked, but he's also seen how he can expand upon those policies.
You guys would like to know? You guys really want to know what Joe Biden's been up to, man? Huh? You know, this is unbelievable. I did see some things in Twitter and what he's doing, and it's ridiculous. You see Trump walking like nothing, Bo. I mean, Mayorkas was there, of course, and there was some officials there. They looked like kiss assers to me, to be honest. But I can pull this up in Twitter, so let's go real quick. Let's do that real quick. So I'm gonna leave this out for now. So let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Yeah, I didn't expect to do that, but I said, you know what? Might as well do it, man. Might as well go for it. Let's see if it gets up there. And then what I'll do is I'll put it in the thing, and then we'll go from there. Should have prepared myself for this, so you got to bear with me, guys. Bear with me on this. For some reason, we're having a little technical difficulty here. All right. Let me try it over here. Looks like Bing's giving me a problem right now. Yeah, it looks like the window's giving me a bit of an issue right now. Let me see if I can go through Oh, there we go. I was about to say. All right. There we go. Yeah, something was up with that site. All right, let's see here. All right. Yeah, let's see now. All right, hold on, guys. Yeah, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, the video went black. All right, hold up. All right, let's do this. All right. I'm going to add another to this one for now. Let's do this. Damn, sometimes, man, my eyesight's so poor right now. All right, here we go. We got it. All right. So bear with me, guys. Let's try to. All right, here we go. So I'm just gonna play like this for now, and everything. There. I'm just gonna play like this for now, so that way we can get this thing started. So let's go look at what has been with Biden. Shall we? Well, actually, we can't do it like this. Let's try to. Let's just play it like this.
Anyway, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you, HSI. Thank you, ERO. Sir, it's time for remarks. And our briefers, I invite you to our seats.
Oh, shoot. God dang it. Freaking. I hit it by accident. I'm sorry.
It's amazing.
Thank you, HSI. Thank you, ERO. Sir, it's time for remarks, and our briefers, I invite you to our seats, and then we'll escort you this way.
Okay.
Great job. Thank you.
By the way,
Thank you, sir.
thanks.
A native Delawarean, where are you from? Georgetown, Seeker.
Georgetown, damn girl. Everybody doesn't understand. Where am I going? Again, thank you. As my mother would say, please excuse my back. Anyway, it's amazing.
Excuse my back. What the heck is he talking about? And you see, sometimes Biden can be lost. But let's show him. Let's just show you where he was at. Let me just. Okay, here it is. Let's do this one. This one looks better. This one looks much better. Okay, so let me put the volume up here.
Yeah, it's actually quite telling. And
So
again,
you
you're
see-
seeing Chief Owens and then the Secretary Chief Chavez there. But
Shouts to ALX, by the way. I just got a video right here.
But I believe the reason the Biden administration is down there is he got that
showing the different gang tattoos that they're wearing on an almost daily basis to get his message out. What do you think
That's
of
Trump
this
supporting
image?
the U.S. National Guard and everything.
Yeah, it's actually quite telling.
Wow.
And again,
Biden
you're
is
seeing Chief
just
Owens and then the Secretary Chief
too
Chavez there. But it's for the cameras, the reason, and I hate to get political, but I believe the reason
me,
the
that
Biden
just kicked
administration
that.
is down there is he got that
Showing the different gang tattoos that they're wearing.
Yeah, so it's supposed to show you, man, that Biden's a piece of shit. You know, let's see what else we can look at. Yeah. Let's see what he's doing. Well, it does look like he is waving at the Mexicans. They're the illegal immigrants.
They like Trump. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and they love the guy too. That's nice of him, man. That's nice. You see, there's somebody that wants to look at, that cares about the border. So, all right, well, let's get out of this for now. So that's what, let me just close this up, all this, because we don't need this right now. See, that's what this guy's talking about right here. See, that's what this guy's talking about. Let's get back to this video right here. Yeah, sorry. This is what this guy's talking about. This is what he's talking about, you know. So that goes to show you, man, that that Trump is the real deal, man, not Joe Biden. So let's keep
Once
listening.
he goes back into the White House, he has seen how Governor Abbott has been able to use his policies to secure their, and your agents, President, they are pissed. Border Patrol agents are upset that we cannot get the proper policy that is necessary to protect human life, to protect American citizens, to protect the people that are crossing the border illegally. We want to protect them as well. And we can't do that because President Biden's policies continue to invite people to cross here. Thank goodness we have a governor like Governor Abbott. Thank goodness we have somebody that's willing to run for President of the United States, forgo everything else that he's been doing to serve the American people. President, thank you.
The reports have come out, and we've been covering them, and everybody's been. And I spoke to the parents of an incredible young lady, and you saw her the other day. You saw what happened the other day in Georgia, and the parents are devastated. They're incredible people. But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had. probably the most incompetent president we've ever had. But it's allowing thousands and thousands of people to come in from China, Iran, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and a lot of other nations. Many nations are not very friendly to us. He's transported the entire columns of fighting-aged men, and they're all at a certain age, and you look at them and say, they look like warriors to me. Something's going on that's bad. Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. Allowing thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people to come. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office, because hopefully the biggest risk we have is 9 months. That's a long time. Right. A lot of bad things can happen. I always say in speeches and rallies, it's if you take the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country and you added them all up, all of the problems, all of the lousy jobs they've done, you can add them all up. It's not as bad as this one man has done for our country. What he's done to our country is he's destroying our country. We were just talking before. The general was saying, he can't believe what's happening. He can't believe it. It's so sad. Last year, almost half of all ICE arrests were criminal aliens charged for more than 33,000 assaults, 3,000 robberies, 6,900 burglaries, 7,500 weapons crimes. This is all migrant crime. 4,300 sex crimes, 1,600 kidnappings, and 1,700 homicides and murders. These are the people that are coming into our country. And they're coming from jails, and they're coming from prisons, and they're coming from mental institutions, and they're coming from insane asylums, and they're terrorists. They're being let into our country. And it's horrible. It's horrible. And, you know, I know many of the leaders of these other countries that are doing it, and it's not just South America, it's all over the world. The Congo, a very big population coming in from jails.
See, that goes to show you, man. That goes to show you that the Democrats don't give a shit. That goes to show you, man, that the far left doesn't give a shit about this country, man. He does. Donald Trump cares. Trump cares about this country. You know, when we had 4 years with Donald Trump, man, we were at peace around the world. I mean, you never saw Trump falling asleep during that UN summit thing going on. You never saw him feel deranged or anything, you know. You never saw him like that. But of course, Joe Biden, ever since he started trying to run for president in 2020, immediately he wasn't fit for the job. But you see, this is the problem. This is why I hate about Democrats. This is one of the things that Democrats are dumb. They always try to get elderly people to try to run. Every time they try that. Obama was young. But still, sometimes a lot of the times you got elderly people trying to run. You know. Now, I've read that Mitch is going to try to stay getting ready to retire, but it's only up to November he's going to retire. Not now. So that tells you that something is going on. They're up to something, bro. And I don't know. There is rumors going on. There's hints, you know, and it just worries a lot of people, man. So we're just going to see what happens. We're just going to let it play out. Let it play out and everything. Let's see. I listened to this already, but I'm gonna let this keep going a bit more, and then we'll go. Because right now Abbott will be speaking, and Abbott can tell you himself how he discussed with Trump. So let's see. There we go.
From the Congo. You look at the jails now. You take a look at the jails throughout the region, but more importantly, throughout the world. They're emptying out because they're dumping them into the United States. And these guys try and make like, oh, isn't it wonderful? They don't have a clue. I think they're looking for votes. They're looking for something. Nobody's really been able to tell me how anybody could want it. You know, you're always in business. You always want to understand the other side. You want to figure it out so you can do something that's good or bad, depending on what you're looking for. But nobody can explain to me, because everybody I speak to says how horrible it is. Nobody can explain to me how allowing millions of people from places unknown, from countries unknown, who don't speak languages. We have languages coming into our country. We have nobody that even speaks those languages. They're truly foreign languages. Nobody speaks them. And they're pouring into our country, and they're bringing with them tremendous problems, including medical problems. As you know, we had Title II, and we had different things to solve that problem, but they've terminated all of that. Even the judge couldn't believe it. The judge said, no, you can't do that. It would be horrible to do that. And he let it go, but he said in 6 months it expires, and it expired, and that's it. So I just think you're doing an incredible job. Just 1 week ago, a beautiful 22-year-old nursing student from Georgia was barbarically attacked, almost unrecognizable, while she was out on her morning run. She was a morning run. She was doing keep herself in shape. She was a beautiful young woman. She was a great person, best nursing student there was. I spoke to her parents yesterday. They're incredible people. They're devastated beyond belief. But she was beautiful, just so beautiful in so many ways, and brutally assaulted, horrifically beaten, kidnapped, and savagely murdered. The monster that charged in the death is an illegal alien migrant who was led into our country and released into our communities by crooked Joe Biden. He's crooked. I took the name away from Hillary because she's no longer relevant, I guess. She was terrible, but what he is doing is just unbelievable. Joe Biden will never say Laken Riley's name, but we will say it, and we will remember it. We're not going to forget her. It's just a horrible story that we've had to live with for the last few days. It's hard to believe. And her parents are they can never be the same. Great people. Just 4 days ago, an illegal alien in Louisiana was arrested for brutally raping a 14-year-old girl while holding a knife to her throat. And he then allegedly robbed a man who was getting out of his car in front of his home and repeatedly stabbed him in the face, in the back, in the face many, many times before police found this person standing in the middle of a street, all covered with blood, standing over the blood of the man he was attacking. Last year, a sadistic illegal alien criminal who was released into our country by Joe Biden was arrested for raping an 11-year-old girl and strangling her to death in Pasadena, Texas. And shortly before she was murdered, she texted her father that someone was knocking at the door. He arrived home from work and found his daughter's body stuffed in a laundry basket underneath the bed. Horrible. Crooked Joe is the blood of countless innocent victims. It's so many stories to tell, so many horrible stories. 3 years ago, we had the most...
This is not on Joe's. This is not just Joe's blood. This is not on his hand. This is not just on Joe's. This is on all the fucking Democrats out there. This is on Senator Mayorkas, Chuck Schumer, all the fucking far left. This is on their hands. Those victims' bloods are on their hands. All Joe Biden should have done was kept the border closed. If he would have kept the border fucking closed, this would not happen. If he would have let ICE do their fucking job, the border would have remained closed. No illegal would have never came into the country. Those victims that suffered and died would have been all right. Would have still been alive, would have still been having fun and everything. No. They died because of them. They died because of them. So, you know, that goes to show, man, that the far left don't give a shit. They're worried about keeping the border open. They're worried about having more votes come in with these illegals. They're worried that they want to throw more supplies and send money to other countries for aid, while keeping people, having people like me suffer. All middle class people suffer. That goes to fucking tell you, man, that they don't fucking give a shit. They don't fucking care about our country, man. God, I swear, dude. I swear. One of these days, man, they're gonna have a lot to answer for what they've done. One of these days, they're gonna learn. They should rot in jail so they learn what they've done. Let's continue on the video, man. Let's continue on this video.
Secure border in history. Brandon was saying it. The general was saying it. We had the most secure border, and people weren't coming because they knew they weren't going to get in. And we weren't promising free education, free medical, free everything. I mean, all the promises that are made, no wonder they come. I mean, you look at what this Governor Newsom from California, isn't that his name, Newsom? What he's done to California is unbelievable. People are pouring in. They think they're going to get medical aid. And our soldiers, our vets aren't being taken care of. But people that come into our country illegally are. We ended catch and release. We built 571 miles of border wall, much more than I promised I'd build. And in addition, we purchased another 200 miles, and they sold that, much of it for 5 cents on the dollar. And it's the best wall, the same wall that you're using, because the governor's now building a lot of wall also. And it works. Walls work. Walls and wheels, I always said. It's one thing never gets obsolete, a wall and a wheel. Everything else is obsolete about 2 weeks after you come up with it. And we got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers to take care of our border. We had the safest border in the history of our country, and now outside of this area where Texas has done an amazing job, and in a pretty short period of time they're going to have it all covered. They have just been incredible. The operation that they showed me is nothing less than incredible. And I'll say this, it's a military operation. I mean, we have this is like a war. It's a military operation. So we had remain in Mexico. Remember that? You can't come into our country, and Mexico agreed to it. And I'll tell you someday, I'll tell you why. Safe third agreements, asylum bans, Title 42, and rapid removals. But Title 42 was so important, rapid removal so important. But the best was remain in Mexico. You stay in Mexico. We had catch and release in Mexico. We had catch before that. It was catch and release a criminal, and they released him in the United States. We had no more catch and release. Our catch and release was we released him in Mexico. And if you broke the law, we caught you, we deported you, or we did something else. But we were doing a great job, and that's where it stood. And then we had an election that we ended up getting many millions of more votes than we did. We did much better in 2020 than we ever even thought about doing in 2016. And very bad things happened. And from that moment on, it was a whole different ballgame in Texas and all over. But the governor in Texas picked up the ball, and they've done an incredible job. And I'll tell you, it's an honor to be here. I brought some people here, some executives from New York, because they're marveling at it, too. You're doing your job. Now we have to find out what's going on the side, each side, because Arizona's not doing their job. You have a Democrat, liberal, or more than that, governor that probably doesn't want to do anything. So people are just pouring in through Arizona, and they're pouring in through the beautiful state, the once beautiful state, still beautiful, I guess, but they have a lot of crime and a lot of problems, California, because the governor's not doing his job in California. He's doing a terrible job. He talks a good game. You know, he talks about how wonderful things are, but he's wrong. And they have a big outflow of people that pay taxes, people that don't commit crime. They're leaving. A lot of them are leaving. So I just want to thank the governor. I want to thank this incredible group of talent behind me, and we just went through something very, very special. We did a tour, and we did it through all sorts of cameras. They're all over the place. I don't know. They're in the sky. They're in satellites. They're on the top of those light poles. They're all over the place. And you really have it done, and I'm very appreciative of it, Governor. You did a great job, and you're my friend, and it's an honor to have your support and your endorsement, and likewise me to you. Thank you very much. Great to be here. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you, President Trump, for being back in Texas. You being here shows that today is a day of an extraordinary contrast. We have President Trump back in the state of Texas, literally on the border itself, a place that he's been to many times, talking about all the things that he's done to secure the border. At the very same time, we have President Biden down in Brownsville, Texas, which was an obligatory visit by him. He'd never been to the border. In fact, I don't think he's on the border itself right now. He's in some sanitized location in the Brownsville area, not seeing the razor wire that Texas has put up around Brownsville. And he announced that he was going to Brownsville after it was already known that President Trump was coming to the state of Texas. It just goes to show that Biden does not care about either Texas or the border and what's going on. As a result, you see a disaster. The United States of America is dealing with more deadly consequences than we have in our entire lifetime because of Joe Biden's policies on the border. And it did not have to be this way. As President Trump just talked, there were 4 policies that he put in place that led to the lowest illegal border crossings in about 4 decades. The end of catch and release, the Title 42 policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, and building the border wall. All Joe Biden had to do to secure the border was to keep in place what President Trump put in place in the first place. But instead, what Joe Biden did, he signed executive orders eliminating.
Yeah. See? He said it. Which I'm gonna put what he I'm gonna finish that part. But you see, remember Joe Biden, he didn't want to go back to doing Title 42. He did it on purpose to let it expire. He did that to let it expire. So I mean, that goes to show you, man, that he doesn't give a shit. I mean, what else? What else can we say? What else can I say? I mean, he's saying it right there. He said it all. What? You know? Trump's policies, man. You got to think about his policies. Don't think about what he says in the media, say what he says in Twitter and all that. Just forget about what he says, man. Forget his attitude, man. Go by his policies. That's important. That's important. His policies are important. We need his policies. His policies is what brought us peace around the world. His policies was what kept the border closed, making sure no illegals don't come into the country. Period. Make sure that we have no more wars. I mean, look what's happening now. In 4 years, we've been having open borders, inflation, gas prices, food, mortgages going up, medicines going up, insurance is going up. We're sending money to other countries. If Trump was still president, this would never have happened, bro. If they would have just let Trump run 4 more years, you know, but they didn't. They just let it be, bro. Bunch of idiots. Let's continue. Let's finish what Abbott's got to say. Just get back here real quick and hurry up.
Eliminating all of the effective policies that President Trump put in place, and then Joe Biden did something even worse. Joe Biden lied to America when he told America that he needed Congress to pass laws for him to be able to do something about the border. Because there are 3 laws that Congress has already passed that are on the books right now that Biden could and should enforce. One is a law that requires the Biden administration to deny illegal entry into the United States, like what Texas is doing right here and like what President Trump did. He's not denying illegal entry. President Biden is aiding and abetting illegal entry.
Yeah.
The second law requires the president's administration to detain anybody who does get here illegally. Biden is not detaining them. He's releasing them across the entire country. The third law that Congress already has on the books is a law that requires the Biden administration to build border barriers like what Texas has built, like what President Trump has built. And Biden not only is not building any borders, Biden is using every tool that he can to tear down the borders that Texas is putting up in our state. And because what Biden is doing has endangered our country, as President Trump was telling you the stories, not a week goes by without an American either losing their life, being raped or assaulted by somebody that Biden has allowed in our country illegally. The fact of the matter is, because of Joe Biden's policies and the more than 8 million people who have crossed the border, the United States of America is being invaded. And because Joe Biden is not doing his job to step up and secure the border, Texas has invoked the authority provided to us in Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution to declare an invasion and for Texas to defend ourselves from the crimes that are being caused by Joe Biden. Very quickly, here's what Texas is doing. Texas is the only state in the history of America to build our own border wall. And we did not reinvent the wheel. We're just building the very same wall that President Trump put up. Second, we deployed those big orange buoys into the Rio Grande that are effective at denying illegal entry. And Joe Biden filed a lawsuit to try to put a stop to it. Even though that lawsuit is tied in the courts right now, those buoys remain in the Rio Grande River as we speak right now. The third thing is we have tremendous members of the Texas National Guard led by General Seltzer. And General, thank you. And also I want to take this time to thank Martin Freeman from the Texas Department of Public Safety and Mike Banks, where we have our own border czar. Mike Banks has spent more time as the Texas border czar in one day than the United States border czar has spent in her entire tenure. And I want to thank Mike Banks for his job as a former Border Patrol agent and now as the Texas border czar. But what our National Guard has done, they have sealed off this entire park and taken it over because this area was being used by the Biden administration to violate the laws of the United States of America. And I said, I will not allow this Texas land to be used by the Biden administration to violate American laws. And I asked the National Guard to take it over, and they did in one day. But this is the important fact. Since they took it over, the number of people that used to come across the border before were 3,000, 4,000, sometimes 5,000 people a day. Now, since this park has been taken over and wired shut, there is on average about 6 or 7 people coming across a day. Most of them are in violation of state law for trespassing, and they are arrested when they come into this park. And so for all practical purposes, this part of the border is sealed. Same goes for where Joe Biden is right now. Where Joe Biden is on the night that Joe Biden lifted Title 42. Brownsville, Texas was ground zero where people were crossing across the border illegally. And immediately, the Texas National Guard wired that shut. So an area during the time of Joe Biden before Title 42 was, or when Title 42 was lifted, there were thousands of people coming across the border. Now there is on average about 14 people crossing the border in that area. And that's because the Texas National Guard has wired it shut. Because we are having to do so much to secure our border, that's exactly why 5 miles south of here, Texas has now launched its own Texas National Guard military base that will house
I got somebody
2,300
on the stream.
Texas National Guard. So they will
Vixen.
be able to more
All right.
swiftly and more effectively continue
Yeah.
to secure our border.
Yeah, you're
And the
right.
last thing
I
I'll
do
say is
agree.
this. Unless and until Joe Biden steps up and does his job, that he has the
Our
power
country
to
is
do
our
already
country,
to
Vixen.
enforce
Our
the
country
laws
is
of the
number
United
one.
States
Our
of
country is
America.
our
Texas will
priority,
continue
man.
to bus
We have
those
to fix
migrants
our
to
country
sanctuary
comes first
cities
before any other
all
country.
across the United States of America.
This is the problem
But I
right
am
here.
very thankful for the model
You have
set
you
by
have the
President
far
Trump.
left that doesn't
President
care
Trump
about our
showed
country, man.
that when he was in office, he was able to secure the
It's
border.
just wrong.
And I know that when he
It's
is
totally wrong.
reelected as our president, our border will once again be secured. So thank you, President
Yeah,
Trump.
100%, 100%. Agree.
At this time, I would like to introduce you to the person leading the effort on behalf of the Texas National Guard, General Seltzer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Your Texas National Guard remains decisively engaged across 1,254 miles of Texas border from El Paso down to Brownsville. We are blocking illegal immigration, drug smuggling, weapon smuggling into this state.
Texas right now has always been is at civil
We have
war.
boats on the river, as you
They're
can
at
see.
civil war
We have
right now with the
drones in
Biden
sky.
administration,
We have a radar
and you
truck
know they're
right
gonna
there, that can track 300 targets at once.
they're gonna do what they're
And
gonna
if they
do
get
what
to the
they
shore,
can to
as everyone has just said,
protect
they're gonna need
protect their
miles and
state,
miles
protect
of
their
barrier.
border.
And if they
And
get through the
Arizona
barrier,
and San Diego
they're gonna
need to
be
do the same.
Thousands of Texas
They need to
soldiers,
do the same.
Thousands of DPS troopers who are
Because
there
if
to
not,
arrest them. So if you are around the world
it's gonna be bad.
contemplating coming to do
That's
illegal
why
entry into the United
right
States of
now
America,
we gotta have a prayer.
you need to think twice about that. Go somewhere else.
Yeah,
or
Texas
don't
is
even
holding the
begin your
line,
journey.
and that's good, and I'm
Because if you get
proud.
through that wire, we're
I
gonna
am
arrest you.
proud. That's why we gotta pray November. That's why November. Everybody's got to get out there and vote. Forget the mail ballots. We got to get out there and vote. This is it.
In Venezuela, there's one leader, dictator, I should say, you didn't mention, Nicolas Maduro. What should
That's
the
right.
United States
Trump
do to deal
2024.
with Maduro, his cartel of the Suns,
Trump
and
2024.
also the Mexican cartels, which are making billions of dollars in human smuggling?
Governor, I'll go and
Sure.
go ahead.
Listen, I would, if Biden were here, I
Yeah,
would
they're
tell him
about
exactly
finishing.
what I told him when I met him on the tarmac in El Paso. The last time he visited Texas, and on the tarmac in El Paso, I handed him a one-page document that listed all the items I talked about here about the laws.
Yeah, that's
that
why we
already
gotta pray
exist
right now.
that he can enforce to secure the border.
That's why we need a
So
prayer
I handed him that document,
that-
and also handed it to Secretary Bjorkas, who was there at the time. And
We gotta pray,
I
man,
told
that
him
Joe- that,
there are
um,
these three
that-
simple
that
strategies
Trump wins this
that you
thing,
can
because
take
if not-
right now to secure the border
by next
to
year,
stop all the madness that's taking place.
we're
They
screwed.
said they would take a look at it. I've not
We
heard
are
from
going to
them
be,
since that
I
time.
gotta, I'm praying
In Venezuela, it's a very
because
terrible situation.
if things
When
don't
I
go as
left, they were in
planned,
very bad shape. We would
next
have done
year,
something very easily with them. Just
we
like
may,
had, a lot
this
of
whole
countries in
country
very bad
is
shape,
going
as
to
you
be
know,
at civil war.
just to go to a different
Because, I
part
mean,
of
if
the
you
world,
saw
Iran was
the
broke,
trailer
and they weren't
movie
gonna be
to that
attacking
movie,
Israel.
Civil
They wouldn't
War,
give money. They weren't giving it to Hamas.
you saw what
They weren't giving
happened.
it to Hezbollah. They weren't giving it to anybody.
That's
They
something
didn't
that could
have
happen
anything.
for
They're a
real
rich country
life.
again. They have
If
$250 billion. and
things
rich
don't go as
you
planned
can
in
be,
November.
and they're handing the money out all over
So,
the place. So, you know, a lot of things change. Venezuela
Trump
was in bad
2024,
shape. Now they're in
we
good
need
shape.
him.
We actually buy their oil, if you can believe it. And we refine it in Houston. It's the only place where you can refine it because it's really tar, much more so than oil. But we would not be playing games with Venezuela. They would not be doing what they're doing. Now they're sending people, and they just put out a statement last week, we're not taking them back. They're sending their people from jails and prisons and mental institutions, and they say we're not taking them back. That wouldn't happen with the Trump administration, that I can tell you. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the governor and the entire group of people behind me, and I would call them staff, and I would call them representatives and generals. They are unbelievable people. The job they've done so quickly and so effectively, and congratulations. Congratulations to all of you guys. Fantastic job, really, General. Great job. Thank you all very much. Great honor. Thank you.
All right.
On the what?
Oh,
Well, I hear he's going to be not going to be leader, and he's taken that step. And a lot of people are calling me to politic for that particular job. Would you like to be the leader? I think I might have to choose this guy.
I'd rather be governor of Texas.
I think you're doing well. I want to
Yeah.
keep you in Texas. No, it's people were surprised by it, but it's all going to work out. We're going to end up with a great leader. Well, I can't say that. A lot of good choices, but I can't say that. Thank you very much, everybody.
See, there you have it. See, this was a good video that I found when I was on break. This was a good video that I found. So that goes to show you. All right, Vixen. Trump is firm but straight to the point. Well spoken and gets his shit done. No, not. Yeah, of course. But see, that's the problem. See, that is the problem with these Democrats and this far left. They can't control him. They can't control this man. Now, Nikki Haley, on the other hand, yeah, they control her. Because guess who is sponsoring her? Guess who's endorsing her? Democrats. All her pals that are in there, yes. Nikki's been bought, and she's just a pawn. Yeah, she's a Democrat. To me, she's a Democrat. In my book, I don't care if they say that she's a Republican. In my book, she is a Democrat. You know, this goes to show you, man. This goes to show. Let me get back up here with this. Get back to myself. This goes to show you. This goes to show that these Democrats, man, they're gonna stop at nothing. Oh yeah, she's a snake, yeah. He's a real snake, all right. It's so funny that every state that Trump goes, he wins every state, but when she goes, she loses. But she is trying to stay in this thing. She's trying to stay in this because she thinks that Donald Trump is going to get himself arrested and everything. We know very damn well it's not going to happen. All these prosecutors, Leslie, Vanis, and this guy James, I think, they got nothing on him. Yeah, she's still being funded, but they're gonna realize sooner or later that they can't beat Trump. They will never beat that guy. They will never beat Donald Trump. So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time that they'll realize. But the Democrats got tricks up their sleeves, so we got to be careful because this is going to be real nasty. This country will be nasty. So we're going to see. Because remember, the Democrats so far, they can change things. Because if you've seen how Biden is, he's not going to run for president. I got a feeling he's not going to go for it. They're not going to make him run for it. There are options that may happen. There's going to be options. Me, I'm hoping, I would like to see Biden keep going, but I doubt it. But I would like to see what they'll do is they may probably tell Nikki to go to the Democratic Party and run for president against Donald Trump, which I doubt she's going to win. But they may. Now, one guy that I watched, D-Day Cobra, he said this, but it's a possibility. He may try to go with, like I've said in many videos, They may try to get either Gavin Newsom or Michelle Obama. They may, but time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see what their plan is. Well, I'm gonna call it a night. So I was gonna go on the Sean Hannity thing, but if I don't get it, I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. Yeah, Big Mike. Yeah, Michelle Obama. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean by Big Mike. I know that. I've been hearing about it. I've been hearing about it. No, you're welcome. No, you're welcome. Thank you. I am trying to make this I am trying to make this a job. Because, you too. Thank you. Well, I'll see you guys later. Please like this channel. Please subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Adios. Peace out. Bye.